ladies and gentlemen, it's Christelle Martinette here, and I'll be introducing with this brief 1-minute introduction to all the February readings, just to tell you that in the month of February, there is no full moon. The full moon is going to take place on or about the 31st of January, and we'll have a new moon the 15th, mid-month, 15th of February. Now, I'm going to do the readings for February with a deck called the Tarot of the Obscure Fables. I'll show you those cards, and of course I'll have my VERA SIBILLA cards here and Neapolitan cards should I need them, and I'll have with me this time the very first runes that I ever used, and it's a set of runes that I made myself, and we'll be seeing that. And also I wanted to mention that I'll be using this channel, Christelle Martinette, for card readings, monthly card readings, and for scrying sessions, for moon readings. Anything else will be in my other I still haven't got off this cough. I'll be using my other video YouTube channel called Mystic Scrying Medium Christelle. I'll try to put a link or just mention it below. And now off to the readings. Hello Leo, it's Christelle Martinette here with another reading for you for the month of February, and I usually shuffle the cards after each reading, and I have done so, but just to make things above board and transparent, not to have the spread already laid out. Let's see what's in store for Leo for the month of February. What's in store for Leo for the month of February? Well, let me show you the cards first of all. This is the Four of Cups. This is the Devil card. This is the Eight of Wands. This is the King of Pentacles. And this is the Temperance card. Very, very interesting, the Temperance and the Devil mirroring each other. Very, very, very interesting. And it all alludes to a very passionate month for you, Leo, I have to say. You come into the month with a question. You know, you question yourself. That the major question that you come into is something to do with this feeling of emotional, how can I say, this feeling of emotional stability, instability, stability, instability. It's your mind that's telling you, am I in a situation where I feel emotional stability or am I not? How do I express fully my emotions or do I not? What are those situations that are keeping my emotions in check, and why? Now, what's interesting for us to see for you, Leo, is this Devil with regards to the actions you take, and seeing the other cards around the spread, in the spread, and where the location of the Devil is. It's a Capricorn card. It is the tail end of what I'm reading. I'm reading today, it's the 20th of January, and it is the tail end of the Capricorn period. This is a passion that you've experienced, and when you're coming in, you're going to act on it even more. Why do I say that? Because the environment that you're a part of, excuse me, you're in my environment, is with this Lord of Swiftness, this Eight of Wands, this card that ushers in another fire sign. It's Mercury in Sagittarius. There's a lot of fire here. There is a lot of movement. The actions that you will be taking in your environment, it could be played out on your activity, in your livelihood, but I tend to believe we are talking more of an interpersonal relation. Could be a romantic or an emotional situation on the job, but I'm seeing here, for the most part, I'm going towards 70% of the cases where it is more played out on a romantic level, on an emotional level, and dealing with your emotions. The emotions here, we have this King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is the king of the spirits of the earth, you know. So you have this feeling, this situation, the environment, and your emotions that you feel are grounding you. They are completely grounding you. But what do we have? We have the fire of the earth with this king. It is again the fire side of the earth. And so you see how so much fire, and you, Leo, are a fire sign yourself. There is fire, excuse me, upon fire. But then the outgoing card, which corresponds to a moment of change, is this card of Temperance. Now, the Temperance card is a card that has to do with the period of Sagittarius. So you see, over and over and over, there is fire here. An extremely important moment, starting with the question as you go into the month of February. On the tail end of this January period, what is this? Am I capable of expressing all my emotions? Is it emotional? Or is this passion I'm feeling just passion? And you're reasoning with a mentality that comes from a sort of a past situation that you are involved with, or your, let's say, your past, the past way that you reason. You know, let me see if I can get some more light. Just let me hold on a second. And here we are. Okay, maybe this will be a little better. Okay, you're reasoning with a pattern that, for the most part, comes from, and you're aware of that. You're aware that it is something that you used to think when you perhaps were even younger, and you used to have relationships that were more superficial, and they could change from one day to the next. Even your thought patterns in relation to the interchange, in relation to the way you carried out your emotional relationships or romantic relations, were quite different. Now is the time, the end of January and into the month of February, you're starting to question yourself again. Is it possible for me to use another perspective? Does passion and the emotions, are they together? Is this love? Is there something that I'm missing because I'm tending to want to exchange? Very interesting, the mental windmills of your mind that turn at the very beginning of the month for you, Leo. I'm going to take now the VERA SIBILLA cards, and first off, and probably will only clarify this Four of Cups to see what that comes from. First, I would like to take a tarot, another tarot to clarify that, and then also use the bottom of the deck. Okay, so what has come up? Whoop. Wow, that was saved. This is the Four of Swords, and we have at the bottom of the deck the Tower. Now, it seems as if there's an omen that you're feeling, an omen that if I don't get my you know, ducks in a row, right? Falling right out. Amore, love. So definitely this is a question of a romantic nature. There, let me see if I can get more information about that. Okay, definitely. Okay, so I have here the Giovane Fanciullo, which is the Virgin of the deck. And Sospiri, sighing, and L'Amante, the male lover, and it could be the female lover. Now this card, the whole three cards point to a bit of ambiguity. Why? Because we have this Sospiri, this sighing, and you can see that there is the boat. We are not sure if the boat is coming in and you're waiting, or you're just with nostalgia looking out, and when asking yourself, when is it going to come in? However, we also have this version of a Virgin of the deck, and but the Virgin has a double face. She can be a person who can come about for the first time like virgins do. It's at the beginning of something, but it's also someone who is fickle. There's a fickle nature to her. Excuse me. So I'm seeing you here as a bit disoriented in relation to a situation that involves another person. Interesting. Now I'll cast the runes to see if I've got to move these candles. I'm afraid I'm going to knock them over my computer. Whoop. Hang on. Let me shut this off and get that. Oh, let me use that at the very tail end before I shut that off. Let me read these and then I'll go fetch that one. All right, so it's interesting to see Berkana Merkstave first of all, because the action, the month of February, sees you right where you are, and next to that Yera time, it beats time because the notion is you are standing still but moving forward. It's an internal development for you the entire month, as Hagal and Hagalas, Hagal or Hagalas it's called, will tell you. You would like to move very, very, very quickly, but that king is saying we need to walk slowly, even if there's fire burning of earth. At the same time that we have this standing still, almost as if something is being conceived, but it is the very outset of this conception. I have Awats that's telling me this is a movement forward that will propel you forward. Uruz talks about a rite of passage, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that you need necessarily to go through, either now or the bottom of the deck, the tower, is coming up. Further down the line, the Four of Swords. And so either we deal with it now or it will be coming up in a different format. But before I show you this last rune, let me go fetch the other one on the floor. Okay, now the other one on the floor, and this is Fey Hu Brightstave, and the last rune here is Tyr. And Tyr is pointing to this that just ran off my table and fell on the ground. What does this talk about? It talks about the importance of inner dialogue. Remember, we have Berkana Merkstave. That means there's inner dialogue as in-depth, profound Hagalas, inner dialogue, necessarily a rite of passage that must be worked through. And it is through that inner dialogue that you will make a qualitative jump spiritually to understand very, very much about you, Leo. I do hope this was of help, ladies and gentle Leo friends. These readings are very challenging this month, one after another. They're one more challenging than the other and so interesting for me. So thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my subscribers, my old die-hard subscribers. Thank you for your support, and the new subscribers, welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate that. Namaste, and until we read together again. Bye-bye.